Hello guys, week 9 of rebuilding myself. So guys, this week I'm going to tell you what frustration is like only by mentioning what just happened. I decided to film the first version of this video, so I spent 20 minutes, I'm going to make sure that this is filming, 20 minutes speaking to a camera, and then I decided to open the video and I saw that it was ×4 slow-mo, and of course when a video is in slow-mo it means that it doesn't get the sound. So I've been speaking for 20 minutes without nobody listening, so I'm going to try to be more synthetic and tell you more or less what was the idea of this week in this second try. And as I was mentioning, this is being shot by my new Sony, the present from my mother, my sister and my girlfriend concerning my birthday. It has been an auto-finance, not a totally financed project, so I needed to put some money because in my family presents are not that expensive. So guys, an exciting week. Drimmly is officially out. Is the project I have been working on so hard these last weeks. As an entrepreneur from Alicante trying to build a business in AI, there are a lot of things that make it complicated, but as I have been thinking all this week, I need to do things step by step and fly with my own wings. It is important to set the timings to win each battle at the time and then be able to win the war, which in this case is reaching the objective I have with this startup, which is focus on orientation for students. The reason why Drimmly is so important for me is because it's a pain that I lived when I was 17. It was really complicated for me at the time to be able to find all the answers that I needed to make sure that when studying business, what was the right path. As I think that the market nowadays is totally focused on one career or study path equals one job, meaning when you study nursery, you are going to be a nurse, or in my case, when you study economics, you will become an economist. I think that this is logical when you think that high schools a lot of times don't get enough resources to help students. This week I got a super interesting call with a PhD in education from Barcelona who was telling me that public schools here in Spain have an orientator. It's compulsory for them to have one, but that the real problem inside those schools is that if you had a school of 1,000 students, the orientators at the end will mainly focus on the students with higher risk, with more disabilities, and at the end they were only able to dedicate a part of their time to a little portion of students. So I totally get that the problem is actual, that is still happening, that has happened for the last 20 or whatever years. Google was a platform that was not totally optimized to do this kind of research because of SEO. At the end, universities were paying ads and appearing as the main results, and universities are not orientators. They are only there to tell you what are the degrees that they are able to teach and offer. And as a business company, which is mainly what we need to understand, at least for the private ones, is important for them to push the degrees that they have and for you to select them based on what are the degrees that give you more opportunities to land a good job, what are the degrees that allows you to end with a job with an average salary of whatever, etc., etc. But what people don't tell you, and I think that this is the risk, is that not trying to get your dream job is going to be super expensive for you in a lot of things, but mainly because of your time. When you enter a degree and you are 18, you are told that you still have time to decide to land a first job, a second job, and then realize that you don't like it and then change, etc. Guys, allow me this channel to be totally open. That is BS, total BS. And this is the reason why I think that is super important, because if you ask a lot of people that are 30 right now and you ask them if they needed to restart their studies, if they will do it exactly the same way they did, do this exercise and this test, and you will get the answer, and then you will understand why I think that orientation is so key and so important at that time. And that's the reason why Drimmly exists right now, and that's the reason why I'm building it, because I felt the pain is still happening, and I think that in my case I see it as this is my responsibility to build an incredible team capable of using the advantages of AI to help students get a good orientation, to be able to tell them all the possibilities they have in the market based on their taste, based on who they are, based on really deep research questions and interviews, etc., to be able to guide them whenever they need guidance. And that's the reason why AI is super important, and this project is never going to be an enemy for orientators. On the other side, I think that this is like an hybrid mode. You will, like taxis, you will still be able to take taxis, but whenever you are in a specific spot and you don't want to call someone, you ask an Uber. This is the same case. You will still have your orientator at school, but if you feel that you are not being listened or that is not available at the time or when you need them to be available, that's the reason why Drimmly will be 24/7. This is the important thing of having an online product. And if you are capable of mixing AI with the human aspect of orientators, and if you are in your school and you don't like the one you have there, to be able to find another human doing orientation to be able to help you, I think that this is the market and the pain that we are going to be covering. This week, I was super lucky to have find this book in my path. So thanks, Yuri Levine. Is a pity that he's not investing anymore in startups, only the one he is building himself with his team. And it has been a revelation in the sense of really falling in love with the problem. I see a lot of problems inside this specific one, and that's the reason why I want to be able to build something that is capable of attacking those pains. And the reason why I started doing it in public, because I think that is going to be complicated. As I was mentioning, I'm not a software engineer. I need to build a product from scratch in AI. I have been studying whatever I can put my hands on, online, Coursera, deep learnings, machine learning, Python, Next.js, all the new languages, Visual Core, etc., to be able to put all together with a lot of YouTube, ChatGPT, and online lessons in order to be able to build an MVP. This is what I did this week. So that's the reason why I'm so excited to be able to say that it is officially out. Now the process and the project has only started for me, because this is the most complicated step, meaning now what we need to do is validate the product. Hopefully this product hasn't been built here in this Batman cave all by myself. I had the possibility to be talking almost every week with students, young age, etc., to really target the pain. And as I was mentioning, for me, the ICP will always be the students, the parents, and as a distribution strategy, I'm trying to beta test high schools, because I think that they will be the conglomerate, and private schools are going to have a lot of students and parents that are unhappy with the service provided by the high school, and they will need something to solve it. And that's when Drimmly enters the game. And that's the reason why I think that we can cover really a good pain. It's going to be complicated for me to be building everything alone, so I'm trying to find a team. That has been the exercise this last week. As someone who's in founder mode, as Brian Chesky will define, I think that is important to have a good timing on choosing your co-founder. I don't want to rush. I need to listen to my gut. I have really hard lessons when choosing my co-founders in the past wrongly, and it cost me a lot. So I'm not going to do this mistake alone. I'm going to take the time, and if I'm not feeling it right, then it won't happen. So that is going to be it. The lesson that I was able to learn this week is, as I was mentioning, to choose the things at your own timing. This week was complicated in terms of motivation. I was super stressed because of having to build content, stressed because I needed to edit it, stressed because I needed to really find the niche or the way of doing those videos, at least the way I want them to be. And being totally honest, the thing I just mentioned is the solution. Is trying to understand that what you are doing, you are not doing it for nobody else than you and the people you are trying to solve the problem to. And in this case, those are the only ones that I need to be paying attention, not investors, not LinkedIn, not reaction, not likes, not anything. This is totally a process that is making me feel so well in my body and in my mind. I almost forgot this feeling, and it's kind of exciting to think the things that are going to come. It has been a complicated week because I had a lot of rejection. We tried to get in one of the main incubators here in Europe, and it has been complicated. Not being or not having studied in Cambridge, Stanford is playing a downside. Not being software engineers is playing a downside. Being in Alicante is not adding any points to the candidacy as a candidate. And this is only some of me sharing thoughts of why you will always find in your path, in your startup, in your business, in whatever process you are starting, you are going to find rejection, you are going to find the complicated moments, and it's not going to be all luck. At least I've always considered myself as someone that is not lucky enough, but it will come because I'm working hard and luck cannot escape myself for so long. So it will come. I only need to don't be waiting for it to happen. When it comes, it comes. And for now, I'm going to be keep on pushing. I need to really be focused on controlling my emotions and my brain. Sometimes I play a complicated game with myself, not really understanding the things that are happening and being totally swamped during the process and the moment of feeling a shitty emotion. And I need to really pay attention and be in the present. Don't get stressed by the things I didn't have when I was younger, or that I didn't have when I was doing my high school, or the things that I'm not, or that I cannot. I don't have a time machine. I cannot go back in time and redo or retake the decisions in another way. And I don't need to feel stressed by the future. I need to feel excited, but I need to think about the future 30 minutes per day, no more. The rest needs to be thinking about the present, and that's at least what I'm going to be focusing on thinking about. So guys, thanks a lot. Week 9, super excited. Next week is week 10, almost a fifth of the process, and really grateful because I really think that I'm doing the right thing, creating content every day, sitting here in front of a camera and sharing my building public, my personal growth process and introspection. And I'm almost sure that it will pay out. I'm not almost. I'm sure that it will pay out. The only thing I cannot control is when. And that's the reason why I don't need to be thinking on when. I only need to be enjoying the process, taking the time, not stressing that much, working as hard as I'm doing. And from there, good things will come, guys. And I'm going to be super excited to be able to tell them on camera. Maybe this happens in week 42, so you are going to be in need of sticking with me for a lot of shitty weeks. But when this week 42 arrives, or maybe before, I'm sure that you will be happy that it arrived finally for me, and it will only be something that we share together, a moment and a process that we live together, and for you to understand that it is also possible for you. So guys, thanks again for sticking another Sunday here. I'm going to have dinner, close this week, and take all my energy for tomorrow, Monday. See you guys next week.